Hey guys, welcome to our channel. I'm feeling a little lazy today. I'm going to be real honest with you. I finally feel pretty good over my cold and sitting here watching some football. And I am gonna, me and my fiance and myself are going to check for changes again or decode, or we're going to do something this weekend. All right, we are. But I wanted to take a minute and talk about a couple of things. Um, and kind of recollect my own thoughts. Um, when we first started this channel, me and my fiance, we had a few things that we thought were overlooked, and we wanted to point them out to however many people that saw them. And that's all we had in mind. Well, one thing led to another, and we found ourselves with more and more material to cover. And now we've got all sorts of material to cover and not enough time. I'll never cover it in my lifetime, and she won't cover it in hers. Because now we believe we're dealing with infinite. All right. And at first we did a lot of song changes. Were the song changes the most important thing? No. But a change is a change, right? So we were reporting the song changes. We got to thinking that we were, you know, things were that all this fake BS going on was distracting from the Mandela Effect, and the Mandela Effect was distracting from all the fake BS. And I think that's exactly on point. And we did several videos covering that. We had the Montauk Project and MK Ultra and all. And why did it wrap back around to music? Is music the most important thing? No. But it's the most important thing to us. Why? Because we can calculate it. It's a section of the changes that we can calculate, we can put numbers to, we can put it in charts, we can look for patterns, and we've established that we're establishing a pattern. That's my TV, guys. I'm still watching football. I usually don't do these videos with the TV on, but what can I say? Got a good game going on here, Syracuse and Clemson, turning into a kind of a barn burner. But I digress. So, and when we first, let me just say that if people were looking for answers and looking for somebody to just reaffirm what they already thought or reaffirm what they already think, well, since my fiance thought one thing, my fiance thought things worked one way when we met, and I thought things worked in a certain way myself. They were different. Her theory didn't make sense to me, and my theory didn't make sense to her, really. It did, but it didn't, because she thought things were a certain way. And had we continued to think that things were the same way we thought they were, and we told ourselves things that reaffirmed what we already thought, what would be happening is my fiance would be making videos describing her theory, and I would be making videos describing mine. And everything that we did would be slanted towards pointing towards our theory. But that's not the way it is. Both of our theories changed. The way she thought it worked changed, and she realized that she was probably not correct, and I realized that I was probably not correct either in what I thought, because we suddenly had evidence for something else. And so we didn't even tell ourselves what we wanted to hear. It wasn't an easy thing to be like, oh yeah, no, I'm 40 years old and now I realize I'm wrong. I was wrong my whole life. I wasn't right. I thought things worked a certain way and then they don't work that way. And, much for some people, the better thing to have done would have been to dismiss everything we learned and find everything and point everything back to what I thought originally and what she thought originally. But that doesn't do us any good, because then we're nowhere near on path to what's really going on, and we're simply doing things to reaffirm what we already thought. While that may be comforting, if for some reason I wanted to continue to be wrong, um, then that's what some people want, I guess you might say. But we can't do that. We couldn't even do that for ourselves. And if that meant that we lost everybody except the 20 or 20 to 40 people that have been following along, and everyone else just wanted to go find things that lean toward what they thought already, well then I guess that'd be okay. We're not necessarily looking for thousands and thousands of subscribers. We don't expect that. Of course we don't. Why would we? Who am I? Just a person that seems to have figured something out, but anybody could have figured it out. I just happened to. We just happened to, between me and my fiance. But I guess we wanted to reaffirm that these musical changes, while they are important to us, well, they're the most important ones to us. All right, because again, let me say it again, we can calculate this section of the changes, and we can put it into graphs, and we can take a look at the letters that come out and see what sorts of things they may be looking at. All right, we don't know how to decode art changes. We don't know how to decode movie changes. Not really. Not that it would be accurate. So to us, they are the most important to our project. Are they the most important changes out there? No. They're all important. Every one of them. But we just don't know how to go about calculating the others. Logo changes, we don't know. We don't know how to calculate that in any sort of a graph, or any sort of codes or things to look at. But we don't know. Not that it can't be done. So I'm trying not to ramble. I'm trying to stay on point. I just wanted to try to collect my own thoughts and try to collect uh, the the collect or get everybody on the same page. Yeah, collect everybody's thoughts. I mean, of course, not everybody's going to agree. Of course, they're not, and I would expect no less, and that's fine. Um, and we could be wrong too. I mean, we're open to that. We know we could be wrong. We get that. That's why we're moving forward. Gonna try to keep establishing a pattern and see if a pattern continues to be established. You can't just do it once or twice and then claim you got something. You can't. Um, you got to do sheets, pages, and we've done that. We've done enough that we're confident enough to list those as some reasons why these songs change. Our what we find in our extractions. We're that confident. Um, but are we 100% think we couldn't possibly be wrong? No. No, there's a chance. There's a chance we're wrong and it's all a coincidence. But I feel like I personally feel like it would be an unwise assumption on my part to assume that that was all a coincidence and then just look the other way. That no, no, I can't do that. Not when I'm looking at all that. I mean, guys, for real. I showed you the charts in my previous video. You got pages, pages of this stuff. Like literally, that's all information. This is all data, guys. This is all pages since we've been doing it. Pages in the charts, like pages of this stuff. Like I know I'm repeating myself, but you guys, I mean, we're talking pages and pages of data. And it goes on. I mean, this many pages, guys. Like literally, it's all open to a random page. And it's all, that's a lot of coincidence, guys. That is a lot of coincidence. And I feel like I would be just missing the boat or going to sleep if I said, nah, that's a coincidence and just turned my back on this. What do you guys think? We're going to keep going. I mean, if whatever we get, I mean, if it keeps making the pattern, then we're going to have more pages and more pages of this. Will it ever do us any good? I think so. I mean, I've learned a lot. My fiance has learned a lot. I hope a lot of those of you who are following along have learned a lot. I didn't know half of this stuff existed. Did you guys? What do we do now? And I'm learning more as we go. And some of it I'm learning and sticking in my head because it's a repeating pattern, which is what we're trying to establish. So this stuff isn't even going the direction we thought. Did we think there was going to be that we were going to be able to decode forwards and backwards and things were going to stand for stuff? Did we think that was going to be a thing that was going to be this much of a pattern? No. No, we sure didn't. I mean, we thought, if we could get anything to stand for anything, that we'd be doing good. But when we started to see patterns and started to be able to establish categories, that kind of surprised us. Like that wasn't what we expected. Um, so the fact that it does it and that we can establish that is coincidental? Maybe. It might be a big coincidence. But I'm not willing to call it that. In fact, I would feel like I'd be missing something if I did. Like it would be hard for me, and it would be hard. My fiance isn't here, but it would be hard for my fiance to call that a coincidence and turn away. So, I guess to sum up what I'm trying to say here is this stuff even surprised us. I didn't even, when I started to calculate the variances, I didn't expect it to make such a pattern in these charts, guys. I didn't. Like, I didn't expect to see this sort of a thing throughout chart after chart. Like, I didn't. That wasn't a thing. that I actually expected to happen. I expected it to be more all over the place. But it wasn't. It's patterned. Did we expect that? No. No. This stuff is even surprising us that it's patterning out and making this much of a pattern, you guys. Are we telling ourselves what we wanted to hear and then giving ourselves the answers we wanted? Nope. No, we are not. Because if I were getting the answers I wanted, I would have been right for the first 40 years of my life. But everything we're getting now tells me that I was wrong. Simple. And I can speak for myself on that. I won't just. My fiance isn't here right now. But I think she would tell you the same thing. In fact, she's made a video on it. So I can tell you that, yeah, and I mean, these things are not telling her what she thought for the first 35 years of her life, 34 years of her life. Simply didn't. Um, they don't match. So I guess that's about all I had, guys. I'll review this and see if I want to fix anything and reshoot, but I probably won't reshoot. This is just my ramble. The pattern surprises us. I feel like I would be foolish to just ignore the pattern and move away from it. Me and my fiance have a very big library of knowledge of music that we both know, and between us, we've only scratched the surface of the songs we know, and we keep getting more um, leads as we go. And I'm going to hit Nirvana. We're we're going to hit Nirvana. We feel like there's probably, if that's a 4.2, there's probably more changes in Nirvana. They're a little tougher as far as the lyrics go, but we're going to hit them. I'm going to hit some other bands I know, some other bands she knows. Sorry for running this video long, guys. If this is just a little something to let our viewers know kind of where we stand and where we're at, and with what's going on with the channel. Um, we think we're on to something, and if we're not, we want to know. So we're going to keep doing it. We got others to decode that we've already done. I've got to revisit my Black Sabbath War Pigs. We got to revisit Journey. Any way you want it. There's some others. I know that I know one bourbon, one scotch, one beer. I felt I may have missed something. And if I haven't missed something, I need to decode that. That's one of those things that we need to decode, and it's going to be a long, headachy one. All right. So there's a lot on our plate here. There's a lot to do, and we're going to do it. We're going to get to it. Maybe probably not all this weekend, but in the coming days and weeks, we're going to get as far as we can. I don't know that there'll be an end to this project. I mean, I suppose it depends. Does the pattern continue? Does the pattern break? If the pattern does break, what does that mean? I mean, is that what going to be our shift when the pattern breaks and there's a change that we can't find codes in and it doesn't fit the pattern suddenly? Is that going to be our reality shift as opposed to quantum computer calculation? My fiance has already hypothesized that the incalculable changes that I've been finding could be actual shifts, where words almost fall off, but not quite, like they're different, but they're still barely there, and dude barely still says them, just you can barely tell, wherein it should be clear, but you can't calculate that change. Is that going to be your shift? We don't know. It's my fiance's hypothesis, and you know what? I think she's probably onto something. Time will tell. Time and data and information collected will tell. But that's a hypothesis right now. What do you guys think of my fiance's hypothesis that maybe the incalculable changes I can't calculate are actually shifts? It's very, very possible, possibly even likely. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, guys. We will see if the pattern continues or the pattern breaks. And that's going to be it for now, guys. Sorry to run it so long. Thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all your comments, leads, and subscriptions. And a special thanks to Phoenix for giving us food for thought on those categories. Um, discovery and invention, which is very, very interesting because I think you're right. Even the stock market could fall under there. And if I research these companies, there's no telling what we would find. That's just a lot of work. And I've learned a little bit about each company. Yeah. I suppose I should do some more in-depth research. We have so much on our plate that there's a couple of people we wanted to look into. Ida and forget the guy's name, and we haven't got to that yet. So just a host of things on our plate that we will get to. We will get to them. And that's going to be it for now, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And let us know what you guys think. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.